we'll have enough, and we're gonna be right back in the same situation, and we're gonna get it done.
What's up, you guys? This is Jay Younger 2 back with another video, and man, what a series. You gotta still give props to the Celtics for actually coming back down from 3-0 and having a chance to possibly make NBA history. But hey, at the end of the day, game 7, what it mattered still most, the Miami Heat prevailed. And really from the start of the game pretty much to the ending, the Heat had most of the momentum, and they really just took advantage of the Celtics not being able to make their shots. Celtics, they struggled from the field. Jaylen Brown, man, he played so bad. Jason Tatum played so bad. Both these guys, as your top guys on the team, playing the way they did just wasn't good, man. And really, of course, the main question now for the Celtics is, what are they going to do this offseason? Jaylen Brown, what is going to happen with him? Is he going to leave the Boston Celtics? Now, looking at it from a logical, realistic perspective, it really doesn't make sense to actually leave the Celtics, in my opinion, because, well, yeah, they've had a few seasons of disappointment, but they did make the NBA Finals last year. They did come back down from 3-0, so they still had a chance. But the thing is, you are on a team with Jason Tatum. You two guys, you're not even, what, 26 or whatever. They're not even in their primes fully yet. They're not even at their best, and they still have so much time left to really rebuild. But the thing is, you know, Brown, obviously, he made an All-NBA team this year, and if they do sign Jaylen Brown to that max extension, that super max, and if he does stay, obviously, then it's going to really limit the amount of talent that they can get on this team. You know, they took advantage of really acquiring the right players on the roster to really compete for an NBA championship with, you know, despite, you know, the money issue. But now, you know, if they do give Jaylen Brown that contract, it's going to really limit to what they can actually do as far as depth on their team. That's why now this window for them of winning, you know, was crucial. You know, this was a loaded team. I mean, you couldn't tell me coming into the NBA season that this Celtics team were not one of the most loaded teams in the NBA. When they got Malcolm Brogdon, you know, they got Derek White, they got all these guys that added more depth. And look, Gallinari, even though he didn't play, you're adding guys that just are crucial, could play crucial roles for your team. Guys who are starting caliber players on other teams coming off the bench. It's crazy. I definitely expect that the Celtics will definitely make some big moves in the offseason, and they definitely may have to make a change. I don't know what will happen personally. Even though Jaylen Brown, I feel like he should stay, we don't really know what will happen until personally, of course, it happens. So yeah, as far as for the Miami Heat, man, the Miami Heat, they came into this series, you know, already with an underdog mentality. Nobody expected them to win this series, and they came out and they did just that. Even though, unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done early, they pretty much had it in game 6. Game 6, they pretty much sealed the deal, but we all know Derek White had that lucky tip in and really caused just a shift that you would think that the Celtics would have all the momentum going into game 7. But the Heat, they continued to play hard. You know, Caleb Martin had a big game for them yet again. They're one of their undrafted guys. And the Miami Heat, man, you just got to give them credit. They just know how to develop talent. They have guys, you know, from top to bottom on this team that, you know, people don't really recognize like that all the time. Duncan Robinson had a great series. Obviously, Gabe Vincent, he played a crucial role for this Miami Heat team in this series. Caleb Martin did as well. All these guys really chipped in for them and played big roles. And as we all know, Jimmy Butler, he wins the, you know, MVP and everything. It's just big and good for him because, you know, he did struggle in one of the games. I can't remember which one exactly what it was, but I believe he had like 14 points, but he didn't really shoot really efficiently from the field. But this game right here, he had a very good game, 28 points, and he made some big shots as well down the stretch to really give the Heat that lead, especially Caleb Martin as well, hitting those three-pointers, really just taking the spirit away literally from the Boston Celtics. I said before in the video I made in the past for the Miami Heat, man, they they just really proved everybody wrong. Like, this is the most unpredictable NBA Finals ever. And low-key, this NBA Finals, the ratings may not be so high because, you know, seeing teams like the Lakers or the Celtics make it to the NBA Finals, especially if those two teams actually went against each other, would have been really huge. But this is going to be a really interesting NBA Finals. I feel like the Heat, as far as depth, they win that matchup, but I don't feel like Bam's obviously winning the matchup against Jokic. Jimmy Butler definitely wins up his matchup. Jamal Murray is going to play a really crucial role in this series. It's going to be a really, really interesting series for both teams. And really, the Heat, man, if their bench can play really well, I feel like the Heat may have the edge, but it's all relies on how Bam plays it as well against Jokic. For some reason, something's telling me that the Heat can win this series in 7. I don't know why, but I feel like the Heat, they can actually do it. They're the one team that may possibly be able to stop this Denver Nuggets team, but this team is tough. They're really tough. We saw what they did against the Lakers. They swept them in the conference finals. It's just crazy. But yeah, man, Jimmy Butler, you know, he said last year that the Heat, you know, they're going to be back in a position again and they're going to get the job done. And much respect to him, that's exactly what he did. In the game that mattered really most, they came through. And this was definitely a legacy defining moment for him because of his legacy was low-key kind of on the line, in my opinion, because, you know, your team literally blew a 3-0 lead, something that's never happened, and that would have been really bad on your resume as a player. Throwing a 3-0 lead, that's something that no team has ever overcome in NBA history, and actually win it. And if the Celtics won it, man, that would have been absolutely crazy. The great players, of course, in the NBA, as we all know, they come through in the moments where your team needs you the most, and Jimmy Butler did just that. He did what Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum couldn't do. And, you know, the Celtics, it's just, you know, I feel like, of course, we all know that Ime Udoka, man, he just really came in and really changed the foundation for that team. Even though, you know, they had the off-court allegations and things that really messed up things for him. If he was still the head coach right now, I honestly believe that the Celtics would have won the series. He was just a really good coach that really changed the game for them in many ways. And the Celtics, they're kind of playing like how they used to in the past. And it's not really good basketball. When Ime Udoka was the head coach, things were better for the Celtics team. Just defensively, of course. They were a great, fantastic team. And offensively. But look, man, this is just really going to be the offseason of the Boston Celtics. This is one of my premier NBA teams. Of course, I think they're going to make some moves. It's going to be really important for the team, but they got a lot of questions that they're going to have to ask themselves coming into this offseason. And for the Miami Heat, as I said before, they got the job done. They are one of the other, second, I believe, HE team in ever to really make it to an NBA Finals. Like I said, nobody expected them to be here, bro. The regular season, their numbers, everything in comparison to what they're doing in the playoffs is extremely rare. Like that Tyler Hero may be able to come back as well is going to be wonders for them. One of their best three-point shooters on the team. And, you know, I think the only thing is that chemistry may be a little down if they do add him back in rotation. But we'll see what they do and what happens. But that's all I really have to say in this video, man. Shout out to Jimmy Butler. Shout out to the Heat for getting the job done. And now we got to see this series of them against the Nuggets. It's going to be a really interesting one.